Members, it's already the appointed time and we've also formed a quorum. May I call the meeting to order? We are going to elect the chairman and deputy chairman for the 2014-15 session of the transport panel. Please note that under ROP 77.6, a member who is the chairman or deputy chairman of a government advisory body in respect of matters which a panel considers to be directly related to terms of reference of the panel shall not be the chairman or deputy chairman of the panel. And under ROP 77.7, a member shall not be chairman or deputy chairman of more than one panel at the same time. In accordance with ROP 22 and Appendix IV election procedures, I invite members to nominate candidates to the post of chairman. A valid nomination must be made by a member orally to be seconded by at least one member orally. And the nominated member also must accept the nomination first. Mr. Tony C., I nominate Mr. Michael Tian. Mrs. Regina Ip seconds. Mr. Tian, do you accept? I do. Any other nomination? Dr. Kwakaki? I nominate Mr. Gary Fan. Any seconder? Okay. Mr. Ronnie Tong seconds. Mr. Gary Fan, do you accept the nomination? I do. Any other nomination? If there is none, we have two candidates. Mr. Albert Chen, Chairman, I hope you will allow the two candidates to have 1 minute each to tell us how, as the chairman, he can chair meetings fairly and impartially and would not do as Mr. Mla Singh did, bringing shame to the council, and whether they have any conflict of interest in transport matters, and to avoid the chairman will not use their personal capacity to pursue their personal interest. There is nothing in our election procedures to allow or disallow candidates to speak. So first I have to consult members. Do you agree to this proposal? Those who are for this proposal, hands up please. 4. I ask for the names to be recorded. Please ring the division bell. Right, those who are for the proposal, hands up please. We're all here. Are we 100% here? Chairman, you have to ask the secretariat. If not every one of us is here, and if any one member requests the division bell to be rung, the chairman must do so. We clarified the procedures this morning. Secretary, do we have to ring the bell? When a member request the division bell to be rung before voting is done, I suggest the chairman you follow the procedure and order the same. All right, please ring the division bell.
好，我哋而家進行表決。
Please proceed to vote. Those who are in favor of inviting the candidates to tell us their platform, hands up, please. Gary Fan, Claudia Mo Kwakaki, Albert Chen, Ronnie Tong, Wu Chi Wai, Lang Kwok Hong, Li Chut Yen. Those who are against, hands up, please. Paul Z, Tan Ka Piu, Lo Wai Kwok, Tony C., Jeffrey Lam, Chen Han Pan, Frederick Yik, Pan Xiaoping, Wang Kwok Hing, Elizabeth Quat, Christopher Zhong, Gary Chen. Am I correct? Seven for, 13 against. The proposal is vetoed. If there is no other nomination, the staff will distribute the ballot papers to you and also a chop with a tick on it. According to our House rules, each candidate will be allocated a number on the basis of the order of nomination. So number 1 is Mr. Michael Tan, number 2, Mr. Gary Fan. Please use the chop to apply the tick to the number representing the member you prefer. Since this is a secret ballot, there's no need for you to show your ballot paper to another member. Members will just close the ballot paper. There is no need to fold it. Silence, please. We've distributed 23 ballot papers. If members are done with the voting, I declare the voting closed. The staff may not hand out any more ballot paper. Mr. Lang Kwok Hong, I did it wrong. Can you give me another ballot paper, please? How many voting have you taken part in today? Well, it's natural for me to got it wrong. We will only hand out ballot papers once. Can our staff please collect the ballot papers? We will not issue another ballot paper. Staff, please collect the ballot papers. Please collect the ballot papers. We can always exchange our ballot paper with a new one. Secretary, can you please confirm? Or can you please clarify? Secretary, please clarify. Chairman, usually, with the agreement of the chairman, I suggest that you allow Mr. Leung to receive a new ballot paper. his old one can be first returned to facilitate the smooth conduct of the meeting.
我哋按照秘書嘅建議。
All right, we'll do as suggested by the secretary. Please give Mr. Lang Kuo-hong a new ballot paper. And please have the old one recovered.
俾秘書啊，好嘛？
呢張我冇睇過嘅，我而家搣咗佢，主席，我而家搣咗。咁可以嚟。
繼續收翻啲選票，好嘛
？Please continue to collect the ballot papers.
我哋嘅工作人員。
Our staff have collected the ballot papers, and the two nominators, please come out and scrutinize the vote counting. Mr. Chair Wai Chin, and for Gary Fan, Dr. Kokaki, please. Let's first count the number of votes collected. We have collected 22 votes. Let's now start the counting. Well, as long as it's fewer than the ballot papers distributed, then it's okay. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 1. 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 Number 2. Abstention. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. So let's count them once again. So I declare the results of the voting. Number 1, Mr. Michael Tan, 13 votes. Number 2, Mr. Gary Fan, 8 votes. So I declare Mr. Michael Tan elected chairman of the transport panel for the 2014-15 session. So may Mr. Tan now take over the chair to deal with the other matters. First of all, thank you very much for your support and trust in myself. I undertake to do my utmost to make everyone happy. So next, we will proceed with the election of the deputy chairman for the 2014-15 session. Nomination should be made by a member orally and seconded by at least one other member orally. Mr. Wong Kwok Hing, I nominate Mr. Tan Ka Piu. Seconded by Mr. Chen Han Pan. Any other nomination? Mr. Gary Fan. I nominate Dr. Kwok Ka Ki. Anyone to second? Mr. Ronnie Tong. Any other nomination? Mr. Chen Hanpang, do you accept the or rather, Mr. Tan Ka Piu, do you accept the nomination? Yes, I do. And Mr. Gary Fan? Now, I hope that you do your best. Dr. Kwok Ka Ki, I do. Any other nomination? If there is none, Chairman, I'm not making nominations. I hope that you could give 1 minute to the two candidates to speak on how they would, if impartially and justly chair the meetings. Well, let's express our views. Do you support I claim a division, and the division bell should be rung, but then that may take up to 6 minutes. So that's why Mrs. Regina was very smart, and she gave the floor to them to speak right away. Okay, 1 minute each. Mr. Tan Ka Piu, Thank you, Chairman. I'm very concerned about transport matters. I have also experience in chairing as a vice chairman of a committee under the Welfare Services panel. So if I were elected a vice chairman, I hope that I would give adequate opportunities for colleagues to express their views, and I would discharge my duty in monitoring the government and will help the chair in discharging the duty. There are many urgent issues related to transport, and if I were elected the chairman, I would work closely with the chairman to deal with issues of concern, transport issues of concern. Dr. Kwakaki, transport policy is in every way related to everyday life of people. Now, the LegCo is being dominated by the pro-establishment camp. Yourself, Chair, you are one of them. So that's why we need other factions like the pan-democrats to sit together with you to monitor the government. If you are acting unfairly, then the vice chairman or the deputy chairman can remind you. And we should not be protecting the government all the time. I hope that members can understand their role in monitoring the government. And we're not there to help out and to protect the government. Well, the past chairman was discharging his duties most outrageously. And I think I'm obliged to supervise you, the chairman, to make sure that you do a better job. All right. We will now carry out a secret ballot. So staff, please distribute the ballot paper to every member present and also a chop. According to the House rules, every candidate will be given a number in the order of the nomination. So please use a chop to indicate your preference on the candidates. Number 1 is Tang Ka-piu. Number 2 is Dr. Kwakaki. This is a secret ballot, so please don't show the ballot paper to others. When you are done with the voting, you can close the ballot paper. You don't have to fold it. So has everyone got a ballot paper? So if everyone's got it, I declare that the voting now closes. Well, I'll distribute another one to you. All right, voting stops. Mr. Ronnie Tong, you've got it, right? Okay, staff, stop distributing the ballot papers. Please collect the ballot papers now, staff members. Mr. Wong Kwok Hing and Mr. Gary Fan, you are the nominator. Please come up here and scrutinize the vote counting process.
I extend 睇下有冇人反對。
extend 幾耐
15分鐘。
？extend 5分鐘，5分鐘咩？
We have collected 22 ballot papers.
We distributed 22 and collected 22. Number 2. Number 1. 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 Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 1. The results are Mr. Tang Ka-pyo, 15 votes. Dr. Kwok Ka-ki, 7 votes. I declare Mr. Tang Ka-pyo elected Deputy Chairman of the Panel on Transport for this session. Mr. Tang. Now, we are short of time. If members have no objection, I'll extend our meeting a little bit so that we can deal with the schedule of meetings and our agenda. You forgot a paper on the schedule of meetings for this session. The third Friday of February, the 20th, is the Lunar New Year, so we can consider rescheduling the meeting to the 27th. 10:45, and for other meetings we'll meet as in the past the third Friday of every month at 10:45. If members have no objection, we'll reschedule the meeting dated the 20th of February to the 27th. Okay, agenda for our next meeting. Please refer to the list of outstanding items for discussion. Mr. Tang Ka-pyo, I think there is an ad hoc and also urgent item, and that is illegal occupation of roads by the protesters affecting the livelihood of the transport trade. I hope we can have a discussion on this, and please invite deputations to come as soon as possible. Mr. Albert Chen, I agree. I agree that we have public hearings so that those who are occupying the roads can also come here to tell us their views, and we can have 3 days of public hearings so that we can have a thorough understanding of the matter. Any other comments and other views? No? All right, then I will approach the Transport and Housing Bureau as soon as possible to see how soon they can come to a meeting with us, and I will write to members to tell you the progress. Mr. Tang Ka-pyo, well, like all deputations, well, not just the Transport Bureau, but all deputations agree that we should discuss that issue, but we should not just hear from the administration, which is biased and also unfair. I suggest that we convene a public hearing to invite all relevant deputations to come to tell us their views. If we so decide, please ask the Secretariat to issue an invitation so that all interested deputations can come and each can have, say, 3 or 2 minutes to speak. Do members feel differently? Mr. Tenkapio. Well, transport matters. Well, this is very objective. Occupation of roads and causing delays and obstruction. Please ask the Bureau to give us their views. I think the protesters and also the transport industry have said a lot. I think we should focus on disruption to traffic. Well, when Mr. Tenkapio first spoke, he talked about deputations affected. So my understanding is a public hearing, not as you summarized just now. That is to invite the THP or administration to give us an account. So do you want the Bureau to give us a paper first before we decide whether we want a public hearing? I understand that Mr. Tenkapio would like the Bureau to discuss with us as soon as possible, and Mr. Albert Chen would like a public hearing. My response to Mr. Tenkapio is I will liaise with the administration as soon as possible. Regarding my response to Mr. Albert Chen's proposal, do members have views on this proposed public hearing? Mr. Ip Kwok Him? I'm not a member of this panel. But why should we invite someone who are blocking the roads to come here to give us their views? This is very simple because there's a lot of smearing and accusations which are not fair to the occupiers. So if Mr. Tenkapio's conclusion is the protesters should be accused for traffic jam. In the past few days, we have seen reports and also accusations that have been proved to be misrepresentation or false. For instance, accusations that ambulances have been blocked or delayed when in fact it was not true. So to be fair to the accused, we should not make such accusations in their absence. Chairman, you must deal with this matter fairly. So you should not just allow the administration to make accusations unilaterally, although Siwa Leung is used to doing this. So, Chairman, if you're going to include this item on our agenda, you must give the accused parties a chance to make representations and to respond. Otherwise, it's not fair. Mr. Bachan, now we have overrun. I propose that we extend the meeting for 15 minutes so that we can complete the AOBs. Chairman, the next meeting is scheduled for 3:40. We have a meeting of the Economic Development Panel. So, Chairman, perhaps you will discuss with the administration first before you decide on the way forward. Okay, so be it. The meeting is adjourned, and I will let members know afterwards.